Hello folks. So in this video I'm going to talk about Uptime Kuma. So just a minute. Okay, so let's get started. Now let me just put this in like this. So the task that I have today is basically upgrade Uptime Kuma, right? So basically one moment. Um, Upgrade time Kuma task, right? So this is when I say Uptime Kuma, it's actually a monitoring tool, right? It's a self-hosted monitoring tool, and it's an open source thing, so it's available over here. So the first thing I'm planning to do is basically get the source code and run Uptime Kuma, right? The thing is, for the upgrade, basically, I need to upgrade from V1 to V2, right? And V1 has some data, right? Something called monitors, basically the different monitoring that Uptime Kuma has to do and give alerts. So I need to migrate the data monitors to V2, right? I don't think they provide a tool to migrate, something to check out. So, but the first thing I'm going to do is actually go ahead and clone this repo. So, yeah, I have the URL, like, HTTPS link. So Uptime Kuma. So this is written in I think JavaScript. If you can see here, yes, it's JavaScript, and there is a little bit of Go also, interestingly. So I think there is server side and then client side. So server side is written in JS, I think. So you can see that over here. No package.json, interesting. Probably it's here. Package.json, yeah, it's here. I wonder where the Go files are and what they're used for. Let me check it out. .go. So some extra checks. Okay. Something about pushing. Okay. Something to check out. So push and then so what does it do? It gets the push URL and like gets the push URL. Okay. I'm not sure what this is being used for. Um, Looks like it calls this URL uh, every few seconds or something. So yeah, cool. So basically other extra stuff that has Go is I think .go, health check, and that's it. I think .go files, that's all we have. Push examples, Go, and then yeah. Okay. Uptime Kuma push. Okay. So in this we have push examples and then Uptime Kuma push. So health check, here we have Go, and then there's a Go thing here also. Same thing. Cool. And here it says push URL example.com and then gets the thing pushed. Okay. It's a status up message. Okay, ping. Okay. Health check. I'm not sure what they're doing here. You can see a HTTP thing client being used. So certificate key, private key, public key, okay. And then so they get the URL, and then I think this is for just checking if the keys are right. So I guess this is like, say, some root certificate authority, private key and public key, private key and public key certificate. So get it, and then health check, okay, response code, okay. So this is just to check a health or something. Anyways, so I'll go ahead and actually look. So basically, V1 is mentioned here, but V2 is being released. So beta 3 has been released. Right, beta 2, beta 1, and this is the last release in V1. Right. So I need to check exactly which V1, exactly which V1 version, uh, and then migrate to V2, which is V2.0.0 beta 3, beta.3, right? So that's the version, right? Which is so let me go ahead and check this out. Just a moment, I'll pause. Hello, folks. So let's get started and let's continue on what we were doing. So just let me so basically, as part of the task to upgrade Uptime Kuma, I'm gonna actually just go ahead and first of all understand which version to upgrade to and which version we are using. So once when I checked in one place, in one of the environments which is the only environment where we are using Uptime Kuma as of now, I believe. So there, the version 1, the specific version we are using is exactly 1.23.1, and for version 2 we have already deployed it, but the data is not migrated. What other data to migrate? Not sure. Don't set up notifications for now, because I was told we can set it up later. Right. So now I need to understand first of all how this thing works. I'm just gonna go ahead and run this. So let's just ensure that we have the latest. It's the latest. So and ideally I shouldn't be able to push to this. So set URL origin push no underscore push. So yeah, cool. So let's see if I can actually learn how to build this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open this up, and package.json main file. Okay, yeah. So there must be. So what is the type of this? Scripts, dependencies, developer dependencies. Okay. Doesn't say anything about is it a no. There's no index, the main thing, and all that. Let's check out how contributing happens here. So first of all, I want to thank everyone who has submitted issues or shared pull requests for Uptime Kuma. I never thought the GitHub community would be so nice. So because of this, I also never thought that other people would actually read and edit my code. Parts of the code are not very well structured or commented. Sorry about that. The project was created with white.js and is written in Vue 3, which is a Vue library, UI library. So our backend lives in the server directory and mostly communicates via WebSockets. Both frontend and backends share the same package.json. For production, the frontend is built into the dist directory, and the server express.js exposes the dist directory as the root of the endpoint. For development, we run in development mode on another port. Okay. So directories, dev config files is in config, app data, and then base, database, and migration scripts in DB. front end build, Docker files, extra useful scripts, public the front end resources are for developers only, server source code, front end source code, and then unit test. So can I create a pull request for Uptime? No, whether or not you can create a pull request depends on the nature of your contribution. We value both your time and our maintenance time, so we want to make sure it's spent efficiently. If you are unsure about any process or step, you're probably not the only one with that question. Please feel free to ask. We are happy to help. Different types of pull requests peers may have different guidelines, so be sure to review the appropriate one for your contribution. So security fixes. Submitting security fixes is something that may put the community at risk. So please read through the security policy and submit vulnerabilities via an advisory plus issue. Instead, we encourage you to submit how to fix a vulnerability if you know how to. This is not required. Following security policy allows us to properly test, fix bugs. This review allows us to notice if there are any changes necessary to unrelated parts like the documentation. So I think there are some advisories here and issues. How do you create a security issue? Small non-breaking bug fixes. So if you come across a bug and think you can solve, we appreciate your work. Please make sure that you follow these rules. Keep the PR as small as possible. Fix only one thing at a time, keeping it reviewable. Test that your code does what you claim it does. Because maintainer time specialists, junior maintainers may merge controversial PRs in this area. So it's translations or internationalization. So we use WebLate to localize this project in many languages. If you are unhappy with the translation, this is the best start on how to translate using WebLate. Please see this. Okay. And then there are two cases in which a change cannot be done in WebLate and requires a PR. So a text may not be currently localizable. In this case, adding a new language key via language key might be necessary. Language keys need to be added to event.json to be visible. Web template, just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, so this is about new notification providers. To set up a new notification provider, these files need to be modified or created. Okay. Format is encouraged. Up, down, image link. So before, after, review. That is this coming details, summary, translations, internationalization, new notification provider, replacement, calling you to format this is encouraged. I don't know why they haven't put images properly here. Because maintainer time special, junior maintainers may want uncontroversial because there are no monitoring types, and then new features, basic changes, steps to submit a pull request. Fork the repository for changes, example, giving the branch feature, add new location for this. Okay, types of changes, copies, checklist. Then publishing draft will request to allow for review and prevent automatic merging. One issue and so I'm just checking how do you build this type of changes, checklist, coding styles, editor config, tools, merges. Which one do I have now? Version is I have 24, okay. And I need npm. Okay. Git. I'm using lazy area. Okay. So I need ESLint. Okay. Let's just install this. And disable it and enable it for this workspace. And then I have editor config also. So let's just get that. Editor. Interesting. Editor config. I think this is the one. So there are billions of people using it. Trust customer. So trust publishing and install is not really interesting. For now, I'll go ahead and take it. But let's see, disable, enable it for this workspace. Cool. Okay. And then install the dependencies for development. Okay. npm CI. Okay, so that is going on. npm run dev. I think there are a lot of warnings, of course. And the request is dependency. Okay. So npm run dev. We have 3000 and then 3001 also, I think. So let me check what is running at 3000. So database is running on 3001. It says open 3001. Starting setup database. It says db config is not found or invalid. Interesting. Let's just make this small and let's go here and say localhost 3001 setup database. Okay. I have opened it up. Not very fine. Request setup database info. Which database would you like to use? So we need need a MariaDB. For now, I'll just use SQL editing, simple database for requirement for small scale deployments. Prior to use SQL as a default database. Okay, so I think in V1 they had only SQLite. In V2 there is more. Just let me look at the V1 and V2 differences in terms of like. For example, the values that they use. For example, the Helm chart they use is the same for both V1 and V2 deployment. It's 2.10.0 Helm chart. It's in this Helm chart repository. The values they use is for V1 it's this much only. For V2 also it's very little only. Interestingly, they don't mention database stuff over here. Interesting. That is something to check out. I think they wanted to, like, my team wanted to use MariaDB or MySQL. I can actually run MariaDB maybe. Let me see if I have MariaDB. Do info MySQL. I'll just install MariaDB. Maybe not work on a server now. So yeah. Let's just install MariaDB, and once that is done, we'll just run this. Once this installs MariaDB, then you can actually go ahead and start MariaDB. You can also connect to it and see what's so it's putting username Karpya Natarajan and hyphen BA. I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean. Configure to allow only connections from Windows by default. Cool. So I have this over here, so we can actually just put this in, and just this starting the MariaDB daemon, MariaDB B, and we can actually use MariaDB test. Okay, it's running the test now. Interesting. Oh, there was an error. Interesting. I will just start keeping track of uptime Upgrade uptime Kuma task.log. Keep this handy and MySQL client. So, I think we're connected to MariaDB. So show databases, right? You can say so we don't need a password. Host name I can just say localhost and wow, what is that? All the component inspector. Click to go to this file. Interesting. Database name. Oops. Database name is Kuma. Okay. I think I just do a create database Kuma. Show databases. Right. And now I can just give more username and password. And okay. If I say current, let's see if it's clear the current stream connection info status current user current time addressing localhost. Slash R connect. What about the information? Print the current command. Help delimiter. So user and then we have password also. Yeah, password for first factor authentication button. Use and validate password is not needed, it's asked from the PDF. Okay. So if I say user Karupaya random, actually it still works. Wow. Anything works. Okay, I'll just say Karupaya and just leave the password. I'll just say root cannot connect to the database, access the name for user root and all that. Okay. Let's terminate. Okay, so this basically shows this error. Let's close this. Let's put the right thing. So KARRUBIH and using password this. So then we'll have to say Karu Paya Natrajan. So yeah, let's get that going. Karu and denied. Just a minute. Hello folks, I'm back and let's actually look at what we have over here. So basically I have put in the password for this. I've created a password for the root user. I mentioned it as admin, not for the root user but this one of the users in this database. So I've mentioned it as admins. Yes. So, yeah, I said create MariaDB admin, create Kuma, and then I said MariaDB admin password admin. I think this is for the root user, not just specifically for that database. I think this is for the root user. So you can actually see that change the old password to the new password in current format. So I think it's for the admin because the name says MariaDB admin. So and let me show you. So I could actually go to the previous page and tell me what the previous page is. So I did use that, and I'm just going to go ahead and just say admin everywhere for the username and password. And so password is too big, it should continue actually. Admin 123 123. Yep. Admin 123. Great. Change your password. It's found in Google Password Manager and sure. So yep. So now we have this and we have status pages and the dashboard. So let me actually visualize and so I can actually show you what's going on. So you can add new monitors. For example, let me see if I can add a monitor. So I have groups in my Uptime Kuma, so I'm just going to go ahead and say demo and heartbeat controller. Okay, retries. 3 maximum retries, before size amount is down. Interval, recent notification is down. Okay, advanced upside down mode. Flip the status upside down and the service is reachable. It is I didn't get that. So it is upside down. It is down. Oh, it is reachable. It's down again. Not available. Create a group monitor first. Okay. Group name. Okay. So this is already a group monitor. I create one more. Let's say test group 1, and then add one more test group 2. Oh, so this creates it out like that. So test group 1. So let me save it. So it says demo group empty, child inaccessible. Okay. I wonder what that means. Let's see. Test group 1. Demo is inaccessible. Interesting. Let's just delete this one. Yes. Successfully delete. Yeah. Let's just create a group named test group 1 and have this 3 retries and recent notification and downloads. It's fine. At least not create any monitor. Your tags are anything. So test group 1, group empty. Let's create one more monitor. Insert test subgroup 1. Let's just say 3 here. And here I can just say test group 1 and so it says this group is empty. That's fine. So we are able to access this group. Good. and then let me just say maybe test sub group 1, and this is a group, this is 3. Yep. Cool. So I can now see all these subgroups. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and create a monitor itself. Maybe just say Google Uptime, google.com, okay, 3 retries, and request timeout is timeout after 48 seconds, timeout after 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Certificate expiry notification, ignore, no, we don't want to ignore these errors. Add the update cache plus your parameter, randomly generated parameter to skip caches. Okay, we don't want caches, and then maximum redirects. You can have one redirects. Accepted status codes is this, anything between 200 to 299, basically any two exits. Auto select every family, monitor group, I'll just do it as this, and yeah, well, let's see if it's working. So this is our Google Uptime. Cool. So the idea I have is just get the data from V1. This is actually V2. The idea I have is get the data from V1 and put it in V2. I'll probably do a second part to this video, and that time you can actually look at how I plan to do this. So export the data from V1, import the data to V2. So yeah, I'm just gonna check out maybe writing some scripts, but maybe that's not a great idea. I'll get there. And there are already some Python libraries, but I want to use Golang, something very specific. Yeah. And I wanted to consider using Terraform for importing or outputting data. Let's see. So for now, for this video, that's all I had. I'll create another video in some time. That's all I have for this video. That's all.